Hi guys, Roberta Montagnini here, and in today's tutorial it's going to be a very quick video because I have to leave in about let's say 20-40 minutes, and I have to be ready and out of the door in 40 minutes. So I'm gonna be editing this video with you as fast as I can and see what I can do. So to begin with, I'm going to create an empty layer, and this layer is going to be my healing layer. I'm going to be fixing small things on her face, like lines or spots or blemishes. I need to make sure the sample is set to current and below here. So I'm just going to sample something, a piece of skin near the area that I want to fix, like so. And I'm just going to run around and see all the areas that need a fix. I'm retouching her image because it's fairly easy in a way, because her skin is pretty good. There is not much that I need to do, and that's great. I'm gonna fix this makeup here. And here a tiny bit. Let me see. Oh, and here too. So I've just fixed a little bit her skin, as you can see there. And I'm gonna fix here too. Yeah, so now it's done. This part is done, fairly easy. Now I'm going to create two layers, two curves layers. And the first curve layer here, I'm gonna drag this down a little bit. And in order to get the curves layer, you can use the adjustment panel here, or you can go to layer, new adjustment layer, and you find curves right here as well. To find this panel here, you go to window and adjustment, and here are all the shortcuts, all the things that I use most of the time. Okay, so curves 1 is gonna be my burn, and that's the dark layer, and I'm gonna click on this white thing here, and I'm gonna press Command I to invert the layer. I'm gonna go back at that in a second. So curves 2 here, I'm gonna drag this a little bit high so it's brighter, and I'm gonna name this Dodge. Okay, I'm gonna click on this white thing here, and I'm gonna press Command I to invert the mask. So now the mask is hidden, and I'm gonna reveal the mask by using a brush and a white brush, making sure your opacity is set to 2% flow and 100% opacity. So now you have your dodge and burn layer ready to go. But before we start there, you need to click on this circle here, on this half circle, and select solid color. Set the solid color to black, and you click, you make that blending mode set to color. So you click on this and then change that to color. The reason why I'm doing this is so my image is without any colors, monochromatic, and I can easily see the areas that need adjustment. For example, when I click on the dodge layer, which is the light layer, and I select my brush and my white color here, always making sure the opacity is 100 and flow 2%, I can see that she has some little dark shadows, on their dark circles under her eyes, and I'm just brushing with a very low flow brush, and I'm just bringing the highlight back from the curves layer we just created. Now here I'm going to do the same. It's very small. Also, I recommend, if you're doing this on your images, you don't need to zoom in really close, because otherwise you're going to spend a lifetime there. So by the time I finish this, by the time you finish your image, I might have retouched 1 million images like this. Alright, no, maybe not at that rate, but it just can get really time consuming if you zoom in really close to do all the minor details that are not going to be seen even at a trained eye. But if you want to experience, how it is to edit an image really in depth, by no means, go for it. I'm just saying it's going to take forever, and you can achieve very similar, if a good look by just working on your images at that distance. So here you can see the before and after with the dodge. There are some areas where I know near the nose here, just want to create a better transition, smoothing it out. And here with the makeup. Okay, now I think I'm pretty good done with my dodge layer. I'm good with it. The image is good. Now I'm gonna use the burn, so I'm gonna be bringing some darkness to the image. So I want to fix her lip here. I want this lip to be more defined. It's probably because of the highlights, you know, the sun. Also her nose, I want to just bring a little bit more of the tone because it is a little bit overexposed. Now here on the makeup, I'm just trying to fix where you see there are some white lines. If you overdo, you can always do invert your colors to black, and that would just really work as an eraser. And once you're good, you can just switch back to the white color, because the white color is what's going to bring either your dark curves or your light curves. This is a good way as well to apply contour. So I normally get a big brush like that, and I open my brush panel and I would just make the brush like this shape here, if you can see, because that's more like a contour brush. And I'm just gonna gently brush on here on her. And if I'm gonna group these layers together, so I'll select all these three and I'll drag to this folder to group. And if I just hide this color fill layer that I just to make the images monochromatic, you can see how the image is looking. And if I just do a before and after, you can see how it has improved the image, and we haven't lost any shadows, any textures on the image. Now on the dodge layer, I'm just gonna go back to my normal brush. You can just select those little circles here to either make it small or full size. Okay, so I'm just gonna make now my brush small, and I'm gonna bring some details on her eyes. You can increase your flow maybe to 20 because it's gonna be quicker. So I'm just making her eyes slightly brighter, and I can do like some makeup here, enhancement too. Just tapping on my tablet, and you can do her lips a little bit like this. You sort of add a little makeup. I think I overdone her top lip, but it's okay. I can just use my dark and delete some of it. Let me see if it's still too much. Okay, I think now it's better. So here you can see a before and after of what I've just done. I have not used touch frequency separation at all, and the image is amazing. So I'm gonna go back to my burn. I see there is some areas here that need adjustment. I'll make sure my flow is back to 2%. And I'm just gonna brush here. If you want to increase the cheekbones, you can. It all depends on the look you're trying to achieve. Okay, image is ready, done. I need to remove some of the, can you see that her clothes has some hairs there? So to do that, I'm just going to create an empty layer above everything that I have done, and I'm going to select my healing tool there, my, what's it called, healing brush tool. I'm going to make it slightly bigger, the brush, and I'm just going to do this. Select samples, an area nearby, and I'm just fixing, removing the hair. It's good if you have a lint roller, so you can just, you know, remove the hairs of her clothes. I didn't see this during the photo shoot. sometimes it can be really time consuming, but because the image focus is not really on her clothes, it's fairly easy to fix this. Okay, let me see a before and after. Yeah, that's pretty good. Before and after what I've just done here, pretty good too. All right, your image is finally retouched. And now if you want to make the image more interesting with some filters, here's what you can do. What I like doing, so I normally click on the black and white layer right here on the adjustments menu panel, or you can go to layer, new adjustment layer, and you go to black and white right here. You can find it right there. So I normally for this kind of image, because on the sun, I will drag the reds down to around about like 90 and the yellows too. Then I'll click on the tint. It looks really like a Halloween haunted image. And I will set this to soft light, and I'll bring the opacity down to around about 25. Let me see. I think that is nice. Then I'll create a photo filter. I just clicked on this icon here, the photograph, and it's a photo filter, and you can click on blue, and then you just drag the opacity down to around about 31. Just to bring a little cool shade to the image. I'm gonna drag it down to 25. I think that's better. 25. Then I can create a gradient map. So gradient map is a very nice way to bring different tones to your images. Okay, so after you select your gradient map, you can just go here to normal and soft light and bring that opacity down to maybe about like 35. Because that's the range that I normally use for most of my photos, but I can adjust that. So you click on that and it should bring this panel, and you will come on this sort of, you know, this panel here. And there is this, how do you call it, CAG? I don't know. You click on this flower icon here and click on photographic toning, and that should load a panel exactly like mine. I just added a few more at the bottom here. You can create and add new, and this is free. This is here ready for you to use if you want. So after this is loaded, you can just play with it and see which ones that look, you know, nicer for the look you want to go, which one that, you know, maybe feels right to the image you're trying to do. It's fun. You can play, you can create your own. So if I add here red, you see like I'm giving reds there to her face, or maybe yellow or green or blue, or oh, this is quite pretty, the purplish. Interesting. So see, it's interesting because you can just play with it. Now let me click on this one. Let's give this to a very bright yellow. Let's see what this would affect. So maybe like an orange. And now let's see what each color, and you see that it changes the mood, the tone of your photos. So if you want to go to a more dark mood, you can just go right to blues. If I select an orange, more like this, and then I could add another one here and then make this darker, like this. I don't like that yellow. And then here you can remove too. You can add you know, other colors. Let's see what this does. It's just the highlights. So here it's probably the highlights, mid-tones, and shadows, you know, like when you have your curved section layers, I think. Because if I switch this to, if I switch this to dark, it's gonna make my highlights darker. I don't know if you can check on her cheeks. So now it's white and her cheeks are very bright. And here, if I change this to, let's say, a very light color, my shadows are gonna be brighter. Or if I put like on the white, see what I mean? So you can keep it down here like in a brown tint if you want. And then this one is the mid-tones. So you can probably, you can change, if you want it to be like more golden, you can just do this. or red. You can play with it and see which one suits your mood the best. And you can also add something close. So if you add something close to it, and let's see, like get a blue color, it will give another, it will be like a mixed highlight. I think I like it without though. Okay, I think I prefer like this. And if you like that, you can just create a new one. So here you can see that this is the effect that this one has. And it's just cool. I would recommend you playing with it and, you know, developing your own gradients to use. Okay, let me get going with this because I have to go, and I really love it editing. I could be here forever. Right, let me see this one that I created. It's not too shabby. Look at that. It's not too shabby. I like it. I think, oh Jesus, which one? I will go with mine. I think I'll go with mine. I'll go with my guts. I think I'll choose mine. My new invented gradient map. I love it. I'm gonna use it. All right, so I created my gradient map here. It's done. It's copyrighted by me. Just kidding. You can also do that. So my gradient map is here. Photo filter is done. Black and white is done. If you want to play with it, you know, add something else. You can add curves. You can play with the curves. Curves is such a nice thing to play with. You can really change the mood of an image. Look at that beauty, or that. You can just, you know, do a lot of things, cool things with it. And you can change the blending mode, like say color. You can use luminosity, saturation, hue, color again. Let me see, color was quite nice. Or normal. Ooh, color was quite nice. A little bit yellow though. Let me see, saturation, hue. Let me go back to normal. I'm gonna drag this a bit. Too much. Then bring it a little bit just to make the shadows a tiny bit more white. Maybe gave too much highlight. And this is also where your life ends when you play with the curves, because you can really stay here forever. I think actually I'm going to keep it like this. Just add a little highlight. Why not? Yeah, and the image is done, guys. That's it. I'm happy with the image. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's not very difficult to do it. I will just group everything in a layer here so you can see before and after. I hope this tutorial was useful, entertaining, and you learned something from me. If you like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you don't, I'm sorry, and let me know what I can do better next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Find me on my social medias. We can be friends, we can talk, we swap ideas, and maybe collab together. All right? See you guys next time. Take care. Bye now.